Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of our 4th Age Total War Elven Realm campaign, and since the last episode I've done a little bit of cleaning house under the eaves of the northwestern fringes of Mirkwood here. We've taken out 3 very small stacks. This was not a very dangerous series of battles, but they were a little annoying in that a lot of them took place under the trees, so I've decided to just skip over those for your benefit. I think it might be time to start bringing this army back down south, and we'll continue this. Unfortunately, it'll have to be a little bit of a back and forth here, as Dale looks like it's going to be moving armies over into the west. And so Bjornings look like they may be coming up to Old Ford. We may have to decide how exactly we're going to hold this. Over at the city of Dale, though, I think we have an opportunity for a large and hopefully conclusive battle. We've got all of our elves armored up now, as you can see by these little reddish or orange shields at the bottom of these unit cards. And so we're just going to take them all out of the city, and we're going to attack this largest army under Bane of Heorth. Now, I imagine he's probably going to want to withdraw. No, he's going to stand and fight, even though the balance of power bar looks very much against him. He's got some units that I would love to get rid of. Hearthmen of Dale, any of these longbowmen that I can, of course the general himself, but a lot of these units do not look very threatening, so I'm excited for this one. So it looks like Dale is set up on this hill. We'll have a bit of a time trying to get around them. I don't think they have too many archers, so I'm willing to risk having my bowmen go out front. We do have 1 unit of Barding Longbowmen here, and that may be it. So we'll go forward, we'll do a little bit of archer dueling, but in the meantime we're kind of trying to work around the flank. One thing I'm a little concerned of here is that the AI may decide to withdraw, given that, well, the balance of power bar was so much in our favor. So I think I want to kind of rush here. That's going to mean we will take some losses, but I want to actually do some damage to them. And here they go. They may be withdrawing, or maybe just reconfiguring. Well, we've got to the point where our horse archers are firing, so that's good news. Our archers can shoot as well. Alright, I don't think they're withdrawing just yet. Just getting to the top of that hill. Alright, their calves coming for me, so we'll pull back our horse archers. I guess I'll keep them on skirmish. And some of our archers are firing, actually, so may as well just plunge in here with our infantry. Just get them into some targets. I'll leave my 2 bodyguards for the wings to do some cavalry work if possible. Oh, they're retreating now. Yep, this is the thing. The AI is not going to sit around and accept a favorable fight for you. Alright, so we just got to charge in here. Our horse archer is going to take damage, but we need to stop these guys so we can do some damage to them. Okay, this looks pretty good. We're not going to get any of the enemy cavalry, unfortunately, but we'll get a good chunk of their infantry. These are not the most elite troops, but we are going to do some damage to these Hearthmen of Dale, it looks like. We're going to get rid of this unit, so that's good. Well, this is not the really conclusive battle that I was hoping for, but at least we did some damage to that stack. And we've got a ton of movement points left, so we could actually try this again on some of these other armies. Let's do that. Let's hit these guys first. Okay, they're going to withdraw. And I guess we have to hit this army now. We can't get back to the city because of zone of control. All right. And they're not going to stick around either. And somehow they're going to retreat through our settlement all the way over to Dale. Okay. We're going to take out Lieutenant Brand, I guess. Well, at least these guys can't run. They don't have anything that's too impressive, but we should be able to take it out without taking much loss ourselves. Well, okay, as a result of that very minor skirmish, in which we lost, I think, 2 units, probably to friendly fire, Our garrison commander here, Galeon, who is already Lord of the Eastern Woodland Realm, is going to be officially adopted into the family. So sure, we'll accept that. More importantly, the question is, yes, we can follow this up now. So as a result of attacking that army and forcing it to withdraw over here, now they can't retreat. We can get back around past Dale, and both of these armies should have to stand and fight us. Let's see what we're facing. Lieutenant Baggy is the first challenge, and he does not have a lot. He's got a chewed-up unit of Black Spears and Hearthmen, a bunch of other low-tier stuff. And inside the settlement, Bane of Hjorth, mostly Cav, it looks like. These are the cavalry we could not catch in the last battle. Well, they've got nowhere to run now. So if we play this right, we might get Esgaroth. Well, I've got to say, I like the terrain for this one. We've got a nice hill. The enemy is lining up in the lowlands before us. We've got Esgaroth off in the distance and the long lake over to our left. They don't have a choice to retreat on this one, so hopefully we'll do a lot of damage to them. Looks like they don't have too many archers. They've sent up a single unit of Barding Longbowmen, but they're going to be gone before they get in range. Yeah, a lot of this stuff is just going to be the low-tier infantry and, you know, some decent cav as well, but I think we've got the spears to handle it. Alright, so here they come, bringing some Black Spears, Barding Militia. It looks like they're sending their infantry forth, but keeping the cav back for some reason. Not sure what thinking is there. Thinking may be a little bit of a generous term for the AI. But then again, they've beaten me in the past, so... Alright, already seeing some routing there. And there are some Longbowmen of Dale down there. I guess we can aim at them. Not too much otherwise. Okay, here comes the Cav. So they're going to be a little bit of a problem, maybe, while we're tied up infantry-wise. Okay, the Dragon Slayers. Okay, that's a bodyguard unit, so yeah, let's target them instead. I guess all these other guys can do what they're doing currently. We'll just skirmish away from them. I think that our Elven horse archers would do okay in melee if the conditions were right. Yeah, and we're racking up the kills on them. Alright, let's come in behind. They're going to catch our archers or some of our units in the back, it looks like. They're trying to charge some Sylvan Axes where they will do some damage. But yeah, that's it. There's one captain gone. There's another family member. There he is, way off in the distance. If I target him, that would also probably be a good idea. Dale Mounted Watch is not really a problem. I'm more worried about those Riders of Dale. I think they're still down in the distance. Yes, keeping back there with a bodyguard. A lot of this is militia. There goes the enemy. Is it the heir? Maybe the king? I can't remember. But that has had a morale effect on the enemy for sure. Unfortunately, our Longbowmen mercenaries are caught by some of these Dale Mounted Watch, but I think they're going to do okay. So let's turn around and hit that cav with our own. And we do need to get a lot of kills here if we want to get the settlement. Okay, we have some Hearthmen of Dale here, and they're doing well against our lower tier units. So let's see, Greenwood Guards. Let's try that. These guys have axes, so let's see how well they do against these Hearth troops. Okay, they're down to 13. Shaken. Okay, 12. 11, 10. I think we're doing all right with them. All right, that's everybody routing, and we'll chase them down to the city gates if possible. All right, that did it. No one left in Esgaroth, but unfortunately, looks like we do not have the movement points to take advantage of it. We'll see if anything can be done. Okay, we do have a couple of cavalry units with more movement points and some family members. So what you want to do in this situation is if you just attack with the cav, I'll show you what that does. It does nothing at all. See how we had all those movement points and they just went away? So what you want to do instead is actually take that unit and move it out, and then you can attack the settlement. There we go. We'll just lay desolate to that. Now we have a bit of a problem here. We've got 2 settlements which are likely to rebel very soon. I'm going to take back the money from this Outland Dominion that I just queued up because we may lose the city. And we need to also get some guys inside Esgaroth so that we don't lose our family member in there, hopefully. So let's see. Let's do the cav. Now we should be able to move in. Yep. And everyone else is just kind of out of movement points. I think I'll risk putting Galeon in there. That's still at 60, so that'll be a bit of a nail-biter to see if he's going to survive. But since we're in here, we can make some cash anyway. We'll destroy the buildings as usual, and then see what the next turn brings. Okay, so no disasters, I would say, and I'm even pleasantly surprised that we didn't just lose Dale automatically. We did have a bit of a revolt here, as you can see. But we can take these guys, move them back in, and then let's see what this is. Okay, so we have a faction elimination. The Reunited Kingdom and Rohan. That means one of them has been wiped out. Okay, Rohan. Rohan has been eliminated. Oh my gosh. All right, well, let's go take a look down at that part of the map, shall we? Yeah, I've had my scout roaming around here, and I've observed that Dunland has done fairly well. They've held on to Dunfrecka, held on to the outpost of Dol Baran, and they've expanded over here to Old Pukelland, even down here to this place, Andrast, I think it is. I think they've taken that. They've taken the fort here in the Kirith Nimraeus, and then probably that means that Western Gondor is open to them. Looks like there's a bit of devastation here, and so they could be heading. Oh my gosh, there's something here too. Now this could be Harad besieging Dol Amroth, but it could also be Dunland. There's looks like there's all sorts of stuff happening up here. So wow, okay, Pelargir. Oh man, okay, so Adunabar may be doing very, very well, and Rohan has been wiped out. Let's make our scout head over here. Last they had was Helm's Deep, but it looks like the Dunlandings have taken that. And now with no enemies between the two of them, these factions may just possibly go to war. I believe Dunland needs to take Edoras for victory conditions, and so they may decide to cause some trouble with Adunabar for that. Okay, Adunabar's got a good mix of stuff. Some of this is their local levies from out of Rovanion, but some of this is the relatively high tier Spears of the Shadow, Swords of the Shadow. So they're going to be a force to be reckoned with, and now with Rohan gone, they can pretty much focus entirely on me if they want. So that's going to be something to watch for from the south. I've had a bit of a break from them for the past little while. But we are besieged up at Old Fort, not really a surprise, and I don't have anything strong in there at all. It's just Elven, so that's kind of why I wanted to move these elves back down. So we'll hit these Bjornings, kick them away, and then probably have to turn right back north to face Dale again. Well, I had just enough movement points to attack this army, but they didn't want to stand and fight, so Grimbrand has withdrawn. That's enough just to save the city, but unfortunately we're all out of movement points here, so we'll have to revisit this situation. All right, and here we go. Turncoat army. This is actually the second one I've seen recently. Where is that? Okay, so this is a single unit of woodmen, axemen, mercenaries that I picked up. Yep, and there's that Tharbad, this freaking guy. It's the same guy who bribed some more cavalry that I just lost off camera. So I picked up this unit of woodmen, axemen, and just sent them over here to maybe garrison a fort so I could, have a cheap mannish unit inside a fort to stop some of these armies from getting into my territory undetected. So I sent them over here, but of course, we've got a single merchant dude hanging out around in the woods, and so he's going to bribe that unit. So that's just awful. It's not any great units or anything. It just makes things that much more difficult. Oh, but we do have a candidate for adoption here. Yes, indeed. Nando House of Ithilbor. Father of Saros of Doriath. Okay, let's go for it. And very nice, that's in the city of Dale itself. We can retrain him for some better armor. Awesome stuff. Looks like Dale is not too eager to throw bodies at me in the region just yet, as long as they don't come down towards the Elven King's halls. And you may notice something about Rivendell. We are seeing population growth. That is because I've just finished the Gardens of the Silver Light, so we're getting a tiny bit of growth here, and that means we can start going on our military stuff. This is the last building, actually, that we need to get our Imladris Lancers. It's going to cost more than half of what we have, but I think we need some awesome units, and especially here where we can send them both west and east pretty easily. They're going to be really helpful around here. The adoptions keep rolling in, and I'm going to keep taking them. This one's a Galadel. Okay, so he's got some troop training, cost bonus, and +1 command with defending walls. All right, that's pretty good. He's also not getting the negative traits that some Galadel do, which is apparently a penalty to trade. So he'd be a decent governor someplace. Let's see where he shows up. He's in Dale. Awesome. Okay, first we'll retrain him, and then we'll probably move him down to Esgaroth. All right, but let's now see where Dale has gone, because there's an army that was in the trees up here. Yes, indeed. They're down by the Elven King's halls. All right, so this is a pretty small army, actually. I wonder if we could get away with besieging Hjorth with this force, calling these guys back up to fight, and then taking them out all in one go. We could probably handle that. Okay, so it turns out the dwarves are blocking us to the northwest. You know, let's go through the woods. We'll do the safer thing, and we'll come around to hit this army on our own territory, clear them out, threaten Hjorth, hopefully pull some of these armies back to the east, where our somewhat larger army can take him out. But meanwhile, in the west, we're gathering forces together. Hopefully these guys don't get bribed. We've got 3 of these Merc Riders coming in and Merc Archers. Probably want to group them all together with an emissary or a scout as we get a little closer. All right, so this one's on me. You may have noticed for the past few turns that the Southgard Fort has been under siege by Tharbad. It's such a small force. What I've been doing is they bring a tiny force to besiege, and then every now and then I take a governor out of Tharbad and knock them away. It just doesn't seem worth it to fight. But of course, now they've actually gone and built a tower before I could get to it. So we're going to have to actually fight this one. Well, and it's much worse in that they have spies apparently, and so they can just rush into the gates. So I feel like I've let everybody down, including myself. We're going to lose Southgard Fort. They don't have much, though. As you can see, they've got Spears of the Bridge. They've got some archers. They've got some more archers, and they've got some cav. The problem is I don't have anything really useful to fight against these guys. While we are shooting at them from the towers, you know, eventually they're going to probably capture them. So I think this is just a lost cause, unfortunately. Actually, hold that thought, because they just marched into the center here where we were able to pelt them with arrows, javelins, as well as the tower fire. They hadn't captured the towers yet. Now, they do have a unit that's moving up this siege tower, the only one they're bringing to the walls. So when that one gets up there, they've got quivers full, and they may be able to just capture all this stuff. Let's move our guys around, though, and see if we can maybe, I don't know, make a little bit of an effort here. So they've moved some men inside, which means they've captured the plaza area, which is basically every place that's not on the walls. But we are seeing how these Elven are going to hold up against the Mariner Bowmen. We've done some damage to them with our javelins. I don't know, they're kind of a tough unit in a way, and our guys are really not. They've got this tower working for them as well. So I'm kind of hoping just to get around the flank here with my other unit, and now we've recaptured the plaza, so we'll get back up onto the walls before we get charged with cav. We are doing a little bit of damage to them regardless, just because of the towers, the gateways, which I think are able to reach in here. So if we can hold out, we may be able to just barely deal with this. The big question is, can we take out these Mariner Bowmen? Let's see, 43 to 28. 27. If they start fighting in melee and doing well, we may be in trouble. We're shaken already. All right, so we need these Dunlendings to get here fast. All right, we've got like 1 spear throw left here, so let's see if we can make something happen. We're getting down to 23, 22. All right, that's it for javelins, so charge in. They've still technically got the plaza, but they don't have the men to approach the walls, I guess. They're not even trying, but they've only got some cav, and the other is a general unit. But with the towers working for us, we're going to eventually clear these guys out. Just need to watch the timer so we don't get that. Oh my gosh, we're going to do this. Mariner Bowman got nowhere to run. As long as we don't lose the timer. And we've got the plaza back because we've got men down inside. Let's run them over here. I did not expect to win this at all. And that's it. No one else is outside the settlement. Just these few men inside being shot up by towers. All right, let's send in the Dunlandings. And I guess the Elven hunters can go after the merchant scouts. They've got spears. Seems appropriate. And we've got one of the captains routing. There he goes. Knifed by some mercenary bowmen of Ariador, and the bowmen have got nowhere to run, and we've done it. Yes, indeed. Just, I never would have thought. They may have had cunning agents and numbers on their side, but we have AI exploitations. There's nothing they can do about that. Well, the Southgard fort might be saved for now, but Dale is certainly closing in. We've got an army that is moving into the northern Greenwood, and this one has some kind of formidable stuff. We've got 3 units of Black Spears, it looks like, some Riders of Dale, a bunch of archers. These guys are going to get combat bonuses in the woods, which is where we're almost certain to be fighting them. And we do not have a lot ourselves. I know that there are some Bjornings just hanging around waiting to pounce on Old Ford. But we need to take care of this, so let's march up here and get them at least in position to attack Lieutenant Bard. The only good news is that if we can eliminate this army, and I think we can, then we've got one more to go. We've got one more big stack just north of the Greenwood, and then that should be about it for Dale. Except for this one right here, and then, you know, whatever else is down in the southeast. But this is probably a good point for us to end the episode. Let's go ahead and attack. We'll see what we're going to face. And yeah, Lieutenant Arnrod should be a pretty straightforward one, but somewhat satisfying at least to get all these arrows into all of these Dale and even Easterling units. So I hope you'll join me for that one, where hopefully we will be cleaning up the last remnants of Dale in the northern Greenwood region and holding on to our possessions in the south. Until the next one, take care.